My name's Tamsin Spargo and I'm the environmental champion for St Andrew's Redruth. Everybody thinks about recycling in terms of cardboard and bottles and at the moment plastic, which is a really important one, but people don't often think about the fabric that they wear, that they use, and that takes a tremendous amount of energy to produce. And so what we're doing tonight is a clothes swap. And at the clothes swap, everybody gets a little bit of shopping fun, a bit of fashion fun, without costing the earth.
One of the pledges that I undertook was Pledge 2, which was about buying locally sourced produce. I have to say that's the one that really wasn't a hardship at all. Though some of the challenges were quite tough, this one was a pleasure to undertake. It's a lovely time to come and to feel part of the local community, as well as to know that you're doing your bit, buying from local suppliers and supporting local farmers and producers.
But biodiversity, generally is, gives us a very wide subject to be involved in with our church. We have no set procedure. You haven't got to have any particular set area or anything like that. It can be with a window box. Therefore, I say to people who are keen, make a small difference. Start small, put in some plants, put in, interpretation again is vital to tell people about why you're doing it and what the plants are there and perhaps they're endangered in the area. Those are the things that bring us and give us interest and ways that we can get people involved. It's a scheme that all churchyards should care about and try and get involved in, because basically as church people we need to get people involved in churches, and particularly young people. It's a very good way of involving younger people. So climate change is happening, gradually, bit by bit. Species are moving, and it's one of the ways that we can monitor these things.
I was approached by the parish priest who's in charge here at St Wen. Could I do something eco or green to heat up this very, very bitterly cold church? But I was aware that the school next door, they were using very, very old night storage heaters, but it was costing them a fortune and the building was still cold. So I suggested, well, why doesn't the church and the school get together and share a biomass boiler? And I said if we were able to put the biomass boiler in the playground, which is between the school and the church, we could pump water to both buildings and provide the heating requirements. So whereas the church was too cold and too damp before and nobody used it, now it's being used a great deal more.
So the solar panels are in one of the valleys in the middle of the roof. You can only really see them if you're in an airplane or looking over from the tower. We've got 60 panels up on the roof, 15 kilowatt array. That brings us in about £2,500 a year. We put them in about 4 years ago, so they're a lot cheaper now, but that cost us £30,000 at the time. By the time you've actually paid back the £30,000, we're getting about a 4% return, plus we get the free electricity. I think I would encourage any and every church to go down this route as much as possible. It doesn't have to be solar panels. There are other things that you can do from an ecologically friendly point of view, certainly with the lighting. It's just part of why we're here. It's part of what we're doing, and it's part of the marks of mission. So I would actually encourage anybody and everybody to look at this.
My name is Olive Stevens, and I'm the incumbent director of this church and Tuckymill, All Saints Tuckymill and Holy Trinity Pen Ponds. And when we came to do the reordering of the church, we looked at the solar panels and other ways that we could improve the way that we use our resources. We were very fortunate. Our church, the main building, is listed, but I think it was about 30 years ago an extension was built for a hall, and we've also got a small building in the churchyard and they're not listed. So we could easily put the solar panels on both the hall and the small building in the churchyard. For us it has meant, because it's really hard in these days to raise enough money to pay for all the utilities and for the upkeep of the buildings and improvements and all the social action that we like to do. So the generation of electricity, those small amount of panels, pays our electricity bill. And of course, with the use of the electricity from the other panels, that helps with the daytime electricity for our soup kitchen, our breakfast club, and everything that goes on here during the day.